Thierry Janel. I'm very happy to have the opportunity to make this presentation today, and I really hope you will appreciate the presentation of Hagaa CAD. So, a few words about the presentation. So during this presentation, you will be in listening mode. So if you have any question, feel free to type them in the chat box. I will try to answer at the end of the presentation. If I'm not able to answer, I will revert to you later. Okay. I will start this presentation with a few slides to give you a global overview of Hager CAD. And after that, I will use Hager CAD to carry out a project. And finally, I will answer to your question at the end of the presentation. So let's get started. I want to start with this first slide. For myself, and maybe for some of you, I started to draw diagrams with this type of tools. And believe me, I can really feel the huge improvements we made since. Okay. So, what is Hager CAD? So Hager CAD will help you to create and to manage your projects. With Hager CAD, you will be able to draw wiring diagrams, single lines, multi-line diagrams. After that, you will be able to create enclosure layouts with enclosures inside. You will have the opportunity to start a heating calculation, to have an idea of the overheating inside your panel board. Also, Hager CAD will create automatically the bill of material. You will be able to create a quotation and to print labels to put on your panel boards. And last but not least, you are also able to have access to all the user instructions inside the Hager CAD. So the project managers. So the project manager will be the part when you start the Hager CAD, you will arrive in the project manager. So here in this window, you will see all your existing projects. You will be able to create new projects and so on. You will be able to manage all your projects. Once you open the project, you arrive in what we call the project editor. In this project editor, you will be able to add more details to your project, more information. You will be able to manage documentation. You will be able to create a structure in your project with several panel boards. About the wiring diagram, so you will be able to, as I said before, you will be able to create automatic single line diagram, automatic multi-line diagram, also a manual multi-line diagram, control diagrams, and automatic terminal plans. So this is the automatic single line diagram. Here we can see the automatic multi-line diagram. We can also create control diagrams with more details. And finally, the automatic terminal plan. Enclosure module. So we have an enclosure module who helps you to configure by yourself your enclosure. So you see the result here. So it's fast and accurate. It's done automatically, but you can also do it manually by yourself. So the software will suggest something like this, and then after that, you will be able by yourself to move the breakers and so on to add equipment kit in the enclosure. And we are also able to manage the form 2B, segregation form. heating calculation. The software is able to calculate the overheating inside your enclosure. It's an estimation, of course, but nevertheless, it will give you a good idea about the temperature inside your panel board. The bill of material will be generated automatically according your diagram and according the enclosure layout. Quotation, you will be able to generate a quotation with prices, labor cost, and so on. And the labeling. So according your diagram and your enclosure, Hager CAD will generate automatically the labels you will be able to put directly on your breakers or other devices, and also a label that you will be able to put on your equipment kits, the front plates. At the end of the project, you will be able to generate automatically a folder containing all the instruction sheets of your devices. So, and finally, what we can also propose is with Hagercad, you will be able to create your own user devices, third-party devices. A nice feature of Hagercad is that you will be able to export or even import DWG file. So at the end of your project, you will be able to export the whole diagram in a DWG file. So you will be able to import this file in AutoCAD, for example. We also provide support, trainings, and on our website, you will be able to see online tutorials. So that's it for the slides. Now what I will do, I will start the software and I will create a project inside with the software. So I will share my screen. Okay, that's it. So the software is started. So once you start the software, you arrive in this landing page that I called before the project manager. So here I can see all my projects. On the left side, you have a structure where you, with different folders containing each one other projects. So you will be able by yourself to manage this structure, and you will be able to create several folders if you need to store your project. A nice feature is that you are able to work with shared folders. So that means that you will be able to store your project on shared folders, and that other people inside the company who have access to these shared folders will be able to share project with you. Okay, so what I will do, I will open an existing project, for example, this one. So I open my project, okay. So now I'm the project. So of course it's an empty project. Huh? I will. So what I will do in this project, I will start by adding devices inside my bill of material, and then I will move to the diagram where I will draw a diagram, and then we will go to the enclosure module, and in the enclosure module I will create and I will choose a panel board and put all my devices inside this panel board. So just a few words about this screen. So once you open your project, you will arrive directly in the bill of material. So on the left side, you can see all the modules available. So as I said, the bill of material, You can also move to the diagram, to the enclosure layout, and the quotation, labeling, and so on. So you can go from one module to another. There is no restriction. Here you can see the structure of your project. So in my example, I have only one panel board, but it's up to you to create several panel boards if you want. Below, you can see the documentation related to the selected panel board. And here at the bottom, I have this window showing me the properties of the selected item. So when you select something in your software, you will see its properties here. On the right side, you can see here the catalog. So the catalog is the tool who will help you to select devices in the software. We will find this catalog in almost all the modules, or at least in, let's say, the diagram and in the enclosure module. I will be able to use this catalog to select devices. So I will immediately start. So what I will do in the bill of material, I will start by selecting an ACB. I will add some MCCB, and then I will go to the diagram. So I will start by selecting an ACB. So a few words about the catalog. So in the first tab, you see Hager Guide. You have this structure here. So in fact, what we have here is the different families. So the whole portfolio is divided in different families. It's more like the same as in the paper catalog. So if I open the first item, so you see small enclosures, then you select the family of enclosure. Okay. So for my example, I would like to select an ACB. So I have to go to panel equipment, which is the family of all the devices going inside the panel. So ACB is in main switchgear. So you see I have ACB, MCCB, and so on. So I select ACB. Then on the right side, I have all the properties of my ACB. So of course, I have to specify the properties of the ACB. So for my example, I would like to add 2005 amps ACB. Okay, frame size B. I would like a draw out ACB. Breaking capacity 65. It's okay. Okay, for pole ACB. And then you see at the bottom of my catalog, I have my selection. So I have the reference, the part number of my ACB. Okay. And this part here is also really important. Is here we display all the accessories that fits with my ACB, and only the accessories for this ACB. All those accessories are available here in all, but also you can go here. They are, let's say, if you are looking for a specific function, like a closing coil, you click on closing coil, and then you have displayed all the closing coil for this ACB. You can see that for some accessories, there is maybe in this example a warning symbol before. So that means be careful. It means that I have to select absolutely. It's mandatory. I have to select an OCR accessory for the ACB. So you see, I click on OCR. So I have all the OCR available. So for my example, I will choose, let's say, this one here. Okay. Add. Okay. So in my selection, I have the ACB and its OCR. One. I need only one. I click on Add. Okay. So I have it in my bill of material. So I would like to continue by adding some MCCBs. So I would like to add two MCCB 630 amps. So I choose the family MCCB in my structure. I choose the rated current 630 amps. Okay, the housing is one, breaking capacity, okay, tripping unit, blah, 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 and 4 pole. The accessories, so this time I don't want to add accessories, but I could if I would. I want to add 2 MCCB, so quantity 2, and just click on add. That's it. So another nice feature in this catalog is that we are able to access to more information. So if I click here on information, it opens a new screen, and here you see all the technical details, all the technical information regarding my MCCB. Okay. And what is interesting is that I can print those information like this. So, and then you get something like this, which could be a data sheet. So you have the picture, the reference, and so on, and you have all the information displayed, all the technical data displayed here in a PDF file. So you can save the PDF file, you can send it to your customer if you want. Something else really helpful, you can have access also to the user instruction. Okay, so you see here you have access to the user instruction. So you do not need your paper catalog to go in the technical pages to have more information. Everything is at hand in the software. Okay, so that's it for my bill of material. Now what I would like to do is to move to the diagram. Okay, so diagram. So as I said at the beginning, for the diagram, you have three types of diagram available. So the first one is the assisted single line diagram, assisted multi-line diagram, and the third one is the manual diagram. So the most used, let's say, is the assisted single line diagram. So I will show you this one. Okay, so the first step when you start a diagram is to specify which type of power supply you have in your project. So as like here, you can select your type of power supply. So we provide a choice between transformers, one transformer, or maybe 2 transformers, and so on. You can also select, for example, genset. For my example, I will choose 1 transformer. You have also the possibility to specify if you need an emergency supply. Okay. So I stay with 1 transformer. So I go to the next step, and in this next step, I will have to choose the properties of my transformer. So here we propose some transformers. Okay, 2000 kVA. You have to specify which type of earthing system you have. So for my example, I will choose TNS system. And also we display the short circuit current value. So this value is the value directly at the terminals of the transformer. So of course you are able to modify this value. So okay, just as an example, huh? And then you validate. Okay. Okay, I'm in the diagram. So like in the bill of material, you have on the left side the different modules, you have the structure of your project, you have the properties, and on the right side you have your catalog. So you can hide the catalog if you want. So you have more space on your screen. So you see that what happens, that you can see that the devices I added in my bill of material are now displayed in my diagram. So the software automatically put them in place. So you see I have my incoming supply here. I have the main switchgear, which is the ACB. You can see the information here, ACB 2005 amps. And then I have my MCCBs, 630 amps. Okay. You can display the diagram like this. It's a more standard view of the diagram, but in fact, it's exactly the same as you can see, what you can see here. Okay. Now, what I will do, I would like to add other devices. So if I want to add another MCCB, for example, I select where I want to add it, here, for example. And like in the bill of material, I will use my catalog. So again, I go to panel equipment, main switchgear, MCCBs. For my example, okay, 250 amps. I choose the housing family, the breaking capacity, the tripping unit, 4 poles. Okay, and I have the reference here. So if I change the breaking capacity, I will get another reference, of course. Okay, I add my MCCB, and you see that automatically the software will draw the lines. The wires are drawn automatically by the software. I can do the same operation directly from here, from my diagram. So of course you can zoom in and so on. You can, it's not a problem. I open the catalog. I select my my MCCB. Okay, and I add it. So I can select the place here. Okay, I can come back to my table. So you see exactly, it's exactly the same. Next step, I would like to add some MCBs. Come here, catalog again. So this time it's another family. It's no more main switchgear, but it's modular protection device, MCB, the standard EIC, and I choose the breaking capacity. Okay. 4 pole, 20 amps. If I want, I can choose accessories. Okay, I add. Okay, that's it. So what you are able to do, of course, you are able, let's say, to copy paste, like this. If you go, you can rearrange your diagram. So of course it's easy to see. You can move your devices and automatically everything is refreshed. I can do the same from here. Just a detail here, you can see that you have this red line, which in fact represents the page break. So you have, oops. You see I have only one page, but if I select those two MCB, I move them here, and then I'm on second page. You see I have 2 pages here now. If I come back to the diagram here, you see I have 1 page and the second one. Okay? Just a few details how it works. Let's say I do like something like this. You see what happened. So okay. Okay, so I put them on the second page. I come back to the diagram. So that's for the distribution. So it's quite, you see, it's quite easy to move, to add some space, it's when you delete something, it's really easy and it's really fast to do it, believe me. So that's for the distribution. So now let's imagine I would like to add some controls, contactors, or so on. If I would like to control my loads here, I would like to add a contactor here and here. So again, how does it work? Oops. I go again to the catalog, and this time I will search my contactors. So I started with the Hager Guide tab. You see how it works. Now let's imagine you know by heart the reference of the contactor. So the contactor, the reference is ESC4. Okay, or even let's imagine you do not know the whole reference. You know just a part of the reference. So you type in what you know, the beginning. Okay, and then you have all the references starting with ESC4. And for my example, I would like a 40 amps, so it's this one. Okay, double click. So you see, I have my contactor in my selection. I would like to add two contactors. Add. I have my contactor. I put it in place, like here. So you have the two contactors. Now let's imagine I would like to use a time switch to control my contactors. So again, catalog. I know that it's, oh, sorry. It's EG something, EG 200 something. Okay, so, okay, I will choose this one. Okay. I have my time switch, and now, okay, I say 20 amps. It's not the correct rated current to protect my time switch. So what I want to do, I would like to add a fuse carrier, for example. So fuse carrier. Okay, phase neutral. Okay, this one. Okay, so that's it. So you see, in a few steps, you have contactors, time switch, and so on. One remark, since we are in automatic diagram, it's not possible for you to draw the lines, the wires between the outgoing channels and the coils. It's not possible to draw the wires here because it's an automatic diagram. If you need to add more details to your diagram, it's not a problem. In this case, you can create what we call a control diagram. And in this control diagram, you will be in a manual mode. That means that you will be able to draw everything manually. Just as an example, if I add my time switch, you see you have the symbol, you put it in place, and here you can draw wires and so on. Okay, so it will be much more easier to draw more details for your control diagram in those control sheets. Okay, so I remove these. Okay. So that's it for the diagram. See, okay, I just come back. So that's it. Huh? And just to show the result, if I come back to my bill of material, I will see that all the devices I've added in my diagram are also in my bill of material. I started with the ACB, with my two MCCBs, and so the other devices added directly in the diagram are now also displayed in the bill of material. Next step, now what I want to do, I want to choose an enclosure to house all those devices. So I go to the dedicated module enclosure. So in the enclosure module, I have two possibilities. I can by myself go to the catalog and pick up all the enclosure and all the equipment kit manually. I can configure completely manually my enclosure, sorry, or I can use a tool that will help me to select the correct enclosure. So I start this dedicated tool here. So in this tool, what can we see? To start at the left side, you can specify the ingress protection. See, you have different possibilities. You can specify if your incoming is from the top or from the bottom. You can specify a percentage of reserve, and the software will give you the choose between different families of enclosure. So in this example, since I have an ACB, the only enclosure family able to house my ACB, of course, is Quadro Plus. Okay, so I will choose this type of Quadro Plus. Okay, next step. Okay, I'm able to specify the orientation of the MCCBs. Those MCCBs can be mounted vertically, but we have also some equipment kits to make it possible to mount them horizontally, for example. So I would like to choose horizontally for them. So I specify horizontally for each one. Okay, that's it. Next step, the software add automatically the bus bar. Okay. Here I can specify some preferences. So the type of modular equipment kit I want. We have two types of equipment kits for the modular devices. You can also specify if the incoming device is at the left or at the right side. You can specify, you can choose some options for the earthing connections and so on. Okay. And finally, you get the results. Okay, so there's my enclosure, and you can show the results in the preview. Okay, so you have a preview of the results here. Okay, so let's imagine it's okay for me. I will continue with this solution. So I just have to click here, and that's it. So now I'm in the enclosure diagram. I have my enclosure automatically calculated. So the aim is to customize the result. You see, the software helps me to find something. Sometimes it's not really what I want, but I just have to customize the results. I just have to adapt to my real needs. So for this example, what I need to have the link between the ACB and the vertical bus bar here. So what I would like to do is to, for example, I would like to move the bus bar here below the ACB, because this part of the bus bar is not really necessary. So I will reuse it. Okay. Oops. No, sorry. Okay. So you see, I can modify the result of my enclosure. Just a few things. It's possible to display the enclosure with doors. We can see it with the front plates. We can see it without front plates. Oh, sorry, with front plates like this. Okay. So what can I do? What else could I do? So for example, I want to move the modular devices from this enclosure to this one. So like in the real life, I have first to delete this equipment kit. Okay. And now I will choose this one and I will move it here. So you see it's not possible because it's not the right one. So to put my devices, modular devices here, I have to select the right equipment kit. So to do that, I have a specific functionality. So I choose my device and I can open this window who will give me the possibilities for the equipment kits. So those equipment kits are specially dedicated for this device. So I click on it, you see it's the right dimension, 800 millimeter is okay. I select my kit, put on place here, copy, copy. I would add a second one, paste. Like this, you see, you have points to attract the drawing to make sure it's the right place. Okay, so you see this one. I cannot move this one here. It doesn't work. It's not possible. Okay, and now I select my modular devices, and I can move them here. So you have also always those blue lines or points who make it possible to attract like this. And of course, I remove those one. Okay, like this. So you see, you have some functionalities who helps you to modify by yourself the enclosure. Another thing I would like to do, if I want to connect my MCCB here, I need a place for the cables. So for example, I would like to add at the right side a cable duct for the cables. So select my enclosure, right mouse click, and here I have the possibility directly to say, okay, I want to add a cable duct. I want to add it on the right side. Okay. So, and that's it. I have my cable duct. Another possibility, if I just display with doors. So you see I have plain doors. So now let's imagine I would like to have transparent doors. I can select my enclosure, right mouse click, configure, and then, okay, just say, you have the possibility to say without doors, but this time I would like to have glassed doors. You can also add a key lock, for example. That's it. Okay, so we have the doors, the glass doors. Okay, and so you can see your enclosure from the front. Let's say from the top, or even we have this possibility in 3D view. So you can rotate the view if you want. We can see it without the front plates like this. Okay, so when you see that, you can say that there are some parts missing. So for example, what is missing? The bus bar holders are missing, the side panels are missing, the uprights, the functional uprights are missing, okay? So to add all those missing accessories, we have a dedicated feature, which is called auto complement. So on clicking on this complement, I will add all the missing accessories. Okay. So now you see I have the side panels, the functional uprights, and the bus bar holders. And something which is also really interesting is that the software calculates automatically the distance between each bus bar holders, and this is done accordingly the short circuit currents. So remember when I started my diagram, wiring diagram, when I choose the transformer, I had the value of the short circuit. So the software takes this value into account to define the distance between the bus bar holders. Okay. So with phone plates, you see there are some missing phone plates. And what I will do is I will add automatic covering. Okay, now I have all the front plates in my enclosure.
Thierry?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes.
Your screen is frozen. We cannot see. We cannot see the software anymore. Can you please check it?
So in this case, maybe I will. If I come back to the bill of material. Do you see the bill of material, Eba?
No. Yes. Now I can see from my
You
side.
can see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So I come back to the enclosure. I hope you will see. You will see it. So my enclosure is complete. Last thing, you can also add the automatic dimensioning of your enclosure. Okay, and now I'm going back to my bill of material. And here you see that the software has added all the devices, all the part numbers coming from my enclosure. Okay, so my project is complete. I can print it, I can export it in DWG file, I can share my project with other customers and so on. So that's it for the software. Let's move the question. Okay, so about the labels, can we export them? Yes, so it's possible to export as a CSV file. And so you can use this CSV file for an engraving machine, for example. So we can do that, yes. The software, yes, is available for everyone, but before you have to follow a training. So we provide trainings, and we prefer to start with the training before. And it's free. Huh? we have a project. So to adapt, you can import, if it's a DWG file, you can import in Hagercad, but you will not able, you just can display, and maybe you can move some devices, but the best way is to redraw the diagram in Hagercad. Yes, you will add the devices, the part numbers, but you have to use part numbers or devices coming from the catalog. Third-party devices also is the same. Those when you add devices in your control diagram, you will find the part numbers in the bill of material and in the quotation, of course. Of separation with so what is the maximum level of separation? What do you call separation? Segregation form. If we are speaking about segregation form, we can do form 3B in the enclosure. That's possible. And for the moment, yes. Okay. So next question, please. Eba, can you move to the next question? Can we print the enclosure? Yes. Yes, you can print the enclosure in 3D isometric also. And when you export the DWG file, it's a 3D drawing that you export. What required type testing enclosure design? What required type tested enclosure design? Enclosure selection. So for the moment, in this version, we provide, it's not a type tested, let's say it's a type tested up to 1,600 amps. But when we will release our new version next year, we will provide only type tested enclosure solutions. So for the trainings, you have to speak with your local partner if you are a customer, or maybe with our sales. You have to contact. In fact, you have to contact us to arrange a training. Okay, Miraf, I will send you how to print in 3D. I will send you how to do that. The software will calculate its patient, which is also size. It will give you, for the overheating calculation, the software will give you the amount of, it will give you the size of the fan you will have to use to reach a certain temperature in your enclosure. Okay.
Okay, thank you so much, Thierry. I think we have no more questions. It was a great webinar. Thank you everyone for attending this webinar today. please feel free to take part of a 1-minute survey just right after this presentation. Also, if you want to know more about the schedule of the next webinars, feel free to visit our websites, Hager websites, with all of the to check all of the webinars schedule for the next weeks. Thank you so much, and have a nice afternoon.
Okay. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye.